The essence of summer. It's time to capture it. So it's summertime here in Texas, and we're gonna go out and capture the essence of summer with my friend Kennedy. We're gonna be doing a little bit of portraits just to kind of simulate what it would be like to have, summer and the summer vibes here where we're at, and see what we can get creative with and have some fun and bring you guys along with me today. So let's get to capturing some photos. But that's Kennedy. You guys have seen her in the channel before.
Hi.
So we're gonna be doing some capturing of the essence of summer today. But first you gotta enjoy the cold drinks because it's hot, because it's summer.
Okay.
Summer in Texas. So firstly, we wanted to take a bit of warm-up shots just here since we're already just drinking our drinks and enjoying our evening to try to get some photos of the essence of summer. My main thing to always try to do is to try to take some photos to be able to just get warmed up and kind of get creative as the process starts, with the photo shoot. Not always do you start all creatively, and then I take it like a sport. You want to warm up a little bit your brain so that you can start seeing things in the right way to be able to create the photos that you need to. So we're able to create a little bit of some warm-up shots for you guys to start with. I then sat her in this corner just to get a little bit in the sun, just to get a little bit of a warm-up shot in this new location to try to get something quick. But then I noticed that I just wanted to move her a little bit closer to give a little bit more distancing from the background, to get a little bit as well from the separation of the dark to the light, since there was a little bit of the light just going through and creating a little bit of shadows that I thought it was really nice to be able to capture that. The main thing was just to get a little bit of different types of shots with getting photos of her just enjoying her evening and kind of just enjoying a little bit of a drink while she's having a read, and trying to get a bit of detail shots that it was just more for variety, just to have a little bit of a composition to get warmed up. Sometimes the shoots, that's what I want to do to be able to get started and just simply get the warm-up shots to get going and then move on to the next location. In this location, I want to use a little bit of the light that was just kind of peeking through as we're trying to escape the heat a little bit. The heat was getting a little bit unbearable, so we just try to find pockets of lights that we could find to create a little bit of dimension between the light to the dark, just because of the summer essence of the sun, just kind of feeling that warmth as you're just kind of enjoying a little bit of it, but also trying to escape it, since where we live, it gets very hot and we just, kind of have to do what we got to do. But I wanted to add a little bit of a flower just to add a little bit more of that summer feel, and I think it turned out pretty cool to do with this location. Now we stumbled upon this very nice tree that to be honest, it just added such a good feel to the essence of the summer vibes that we're trying to go for. Just simply sitting down under a tree to capture a little bit of the subject just getting shade while she's enjoying the reading and just having a good summer day. I think this was probably my favorite location and photos because of the actual just lighting that it worked out so nicely, as well as how the composition just looks so good, that it was really the main place that it really made me feel happy with the photo shoot, because the desperation of the heat was getting a little bit too much, that we try to do as much as we could, and getting a little bit of the lighting with this one, with the shade, with the dark to the light from the sun coming from the side, made the photos just look so great that it was totally worth it. So I found these stairs right here that look kind of good in my mind, but somehow I just couldn't really find what I wanted to create with this location. Something of the formula just wasn't really clicking with me creatively, and I tried to do a little bit of different types of angles with more direct and a little bit from the side, and just anything that could capture my mind to be able to create some photos with it. It wasn't a horrible location, but I wasn't really feeling as great as I would with the other ones, so it was what it was, and we just decided to take these photos anyway. We then moved on to this railing where I wanted her to just lean up against it to take some photos of just kind of enjoying the summer feel of things, maybe putting her head back just to let the hair go free, as well as playing with the light with her hand just to kind of get a little bit of pockets of light in her face to maybe see if we could get anything creative. I also wanted to go a little bit of just from down below to capture a little bit of just a lower angle type of shot to see if I could get something creatively, just because the sun was looking fairly nice behind her, so I wanted to see if I could get a good shot with it. In this location, I just wanted her more towards the ground because of the background. We had a little bit of that little man-made river that we have, as well with like the scenery behind her, that I wanted to just work on some angles while having her sitting down, just because it's kind of a nice little location, and try to mess around with the lighting that way. But with the previous photos, having the light behind her was kind of fine, but I wasn't really happy with it. So I just kind of wanted to try to see if I could get anything from the subject looking into the distance and enjoying herself, kind of enjoying the views of summer and just the feel of the sun, and getting a little bit of detailed shots from behind just to test something out differently to see what I could come up with. Walking to the next location. It's a little bit hot out for you? Oh, the squirrels are going at it. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh! We got attacked by squirrels. They were intense. They're like, they just went through the tree right now. It was going like, hey. Anyways, yeah, the heat has been getting us a little bit, and then the squirrels attacked us, so it's great. It's great to go out to create in the good old area right here right now. It's crazy. Use this right here to try to take some nice photos. We just decided to use this location, watching out for the trolley as it went by, just to use the stairs to be a little bit more of symmetry. And for me, I was trying to get something in my head that I wanted to do, but somehow I just wasn't really getting what I wanted out of the shot. I don't know if it was just the location or the lighting or myself, I couldn't center myself correctly, but I was able to just try to get a little bit of different types of shot from this location to try to get as much of symmetry and different angles just to capture a little bit of portraits in this location. And this was the last location that we just stumbled upon as we were making our way back. I wanted to do something with the stop because of the light. I had to move around just to actually not have my shadow on her. Trying to maybe do some leading lines with the trolley stop sign and figure out just different angles. It wasn't really my favorite location. I was trying to make something happen and the photos were okay. I know I could have done better, but for the future, I'll just try something different, but wanted to end just this video with that. Well, I'm back from taking those photos with my friend Kennedy and from being in that horrible heat, that I wanted to talk a little bit of the process of taking those photos, my thought, kind of behind it all, the dealing with the heat and how it all went out to be happy with the photo shoot despite not always feeling the best within it. When it came down to the photo shoot, we had to deal with unbearable heat because we live in Texas. Texas overall is just a horrible place for heat in the summer. We were dealing with very hot weather. It was in the upper 90s Fahrenheit, or like I think the upper 30s in Celsius. So I usually use Celsius, so that's why. And it was quite rather hot plus humid. Here where we're at, we're near the Gulf of Mexico by like an hour and a half away. So we get enough of that humidity from it that it's just sometimes unbearable. And for me personally, that tends to affect my creativity when I'm wanting to create content, especially when I'm wanting to do it outside. Shooting photos outside is something that I really enjoy, going out to create something out of nothing, or doing portraitures and things of that sort with the street photography as well is quite nice. But with the heat here in Texas, it makes it a lot harder. That my thought process within this video was kind of like tumbling and going up and down because of that situation with the heat. The whole purpose of the shoot was to shoot the essence of summer, kind of doing something when it came down to being, enjoying the summertime, maybe enjoying a book, having a drink, exploring something outside that just made sense. But with that being said as well, with the outside here in Texas, it made it a little bit harder. We were going out through locations to try to figure out what we wanted to do when it came down to the photo shoot itself. We were trying to go and see with the kind of coffee shop that we were at to get a little bit of a type of just hangout spot type of photo shoot where we were trying to do where she was, you know, having her drink, maybe enjoying a book, enjoying the sun, and just having fun, and trying to find those pockets of lights that just made sense to add a little bit of contrast to the images. Throughout the video, essentially, I try to find a little bit of pockets of light to add contrast for it, because we're trying to do a little bit of in the shadows versus being too much in the sun because of how hot it was. We had this place in the pillars that it was nice to be able to have that contrast between her being in the darker side versus the light kind of coming through, just to kind of like showcase how the warmth of the sun is within, you know, the summertime and that essence of summer. But the one place that really just made it become the video where I was very happy at the end, because I wasn't feeling comfortable with everything. I wasn't feeling creative. I felt like I was stuck because of the heat, that it wouldn't let me kind of perform well and think correctly of what I wanted to do. It was this location where there was just a tree that the light was just hitting so nicely that I had her just sit up against, because the light was just hitting so nicely. So she was able to just essentially sit there while I was taking some photos that just looked so good. Those were the only photos that I felt very confident in, even when we were out shooting, despite of having some other here and there photos that I enjoyed once I got back into my computer screen to see them a lot bigger than just in my, you know, camera. That location itself just kind of saved the whole shoot. We both agreed on that aspect, because we're like, wow, these already turned out the best, and it'll be hard to beat even continuing on with the video as we were filming and taking more photos. The way that the light was hitting, the contrast between her of the light and the darkness of everything just made it so much nicer that it just made sense to go ahead and, you know, get those shots. We had that establishing shot, medium to kind of up close, detail shots and everything, but it just looks so nice. Even the B-roll that we did, and that was probably the only place I did B-roll in because of how good it looked, was kind of telling enough of why I thought that was kind of the hero shot section, which was nice to capture. If I would have honestly just gone ahead and went there to take those photos only and made a video about that section only, I probably would have been just super happy with and would have been like, yep, that was a successful kind of photo shoot, no need to keep on going. But we wanted to make the best of the situation, obviously. But if that would have been the case, I would have left super happy with those photos. Those were by far my most favorite photos, the same with her, so it was nice that we were able to capture those at least. But it all comes down to the same thing when it comes down to the thought process of creating. Your comfort will happen if you have, you know, good everything like that aligns itself, whether it's like good lighting, good climate, whether it's not too hot or too cold, and things of that sort that make you feel creative at your best to be able to think rationally. And that was kind of like the bit of like about this video, is to showcase that not everything will go 100% your way. You have to figure out a situation that can help you out to create the photos that you want to, and figure out a way to make it when you're not feeling it. For myself, I wasn't feeling it the best because of just how overly hot it felt, that like I just felt like I was sweating too much. I couldn't concentrate. I felt uncomfortable. And I know that if I'm feeling uncomfortable, probably the model is going to feel uncomfortable. So we have to kind of adjust and make it as best as we can. That it's a little bit of a challenge when it comes down to that. But overall, I think the main process of doing all this stuff is to find a way to get at least one shot from your photo shoot that you're content with, so that it's a worth it shoot. Not every shot is going to be the certified quote unquote banger, but it's not going to be also the most, you know, intriguing photo perhaps. It might just be a filler photo, and that's okay. And for me, that was the whole purpose of this photo shoot, to just go ahead and create the essence of summer. And if it was just one of the sets that was going to be it, that was going to be fine for me. There were a couple photos here and there that were nice and everything. I felt like they could have done something different, and that's just a learning curve for myself every time. And that's why I like making these videos, to show with you guys and, you know, bring you along to see the photo shoots, my thought process and what I did, to either learn from myself when I review them to not do that again, or help you guys out to see what really worked out and what didn't, so that you get better as well as you see these videos. So that's my thought process when it comes onto that. So hopefully that'll help you out when you're looking at this video and enjoying it with me, because I truly appreciate that. Now let me know below which ones were your favorite shots, and why did you pick them? What caught your eye of them? What made you feel something? I don't know if you kind of maybe portrayed what I was trying to portray with them in the photos with, like, you know, the outcome. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to know your thoughts, so that way I can, 1, keep improving, 2, get to know you guys better, and 3, just have a nice little conversation in the comments down below. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.